Welcome to Best MMA Picks. I'm your host, JD, and we're going to break down these two back-to-back UFC Fight Night cards. The first one we're going to break down here is UFC Fight Night Belfast, Northern Ireland, taking place tomorrow, starting in the morning with the prelims, kicking off at 9:30 a.m. I'm just going to break down rather quickly the main card fights. There are four of them on each. Actually, I think the second card actually has five, but there are four main card fights here on the first Belfast card. And we're going to just kind of go through them quickly. I haven't spent a whole lot of time. There's a ton of fights. I do have several fights that I am eyeballing for betting opportunities, but I'm just going to give you my main card picks here. And it's going to be a quick video. I'm going to try to pump these out back to back for you guys. And then I will be pretty selective with my bets that I will be posting on Capper Tech. You can check those out. It'll be posted on our Twitter and pinned to the top of our Twitter at Best MMA Picks, all one word. And those are all free. So let's start it off. First fight of the main card, Belfast, Artem Lobov versus Naruto Ishihara. I'm going here with Naruto Ishihara. I just think his movement's much better. He's quicker. He's more dynamic. He's much more explosive and just kind of has that, I don't know, that unpredictability factor. Artem, you know what he's going to throw at you, and those are bombs, heavy hands, and he's a rather flat-footed guy. Likes to stand in front of people with his, hands down. I just don't think he's a smart fighter, and I've gone over this before in my other broadcasts. I think Naruto is going to get, despite Artem having kind of a home crowd advantage here, I still think that Ishihara is going to get the job done. You can't count Lobov off with those powerful hands, but honestly, I'm not impressed with him at all. I don't know that he's going to be able to hit Ishihara unless it's some kind of, unless he's standing right in front of him. So, with that being said, I'm going with Ishihara to defeat Lobov by, going to go by decision. Next fight, we have Timothy Johnson versus Alexander Volkov. I don't know a whole lot about Volkov. I haven't really seen him fight before, but from what I understand, he has very high credentials in striking, so there will be a striking advantage. He holds multiple belts in different disciplines of martial arts as far as the striking department. He has a 70% KO TKO rate. Timothy Johnson is a Division II wrestler out of Minnesota State, so he's got some pretty good ground skills. Alexander Volkov's no joke either, though. I believe he had like a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if I remember correctly. But he's got some ground skills as well. But Timothy Johnson, I'd say that he has a ground advantage, being able to take guys down, being a heavier fighter. This one's a tough one for me to pick, and I think it could go either way. But I'm going to go with the dynamic striking of Alexander Volkov to get the job done. Timothy Johnson is the favorite here, coming in at -124. But I think that there's going to be a good chance for him to get knocked out. So going with Volkov here to defeat Timothy Johnson by KO. Next fight, we have Ross the Real Deal Pearson versus Stevie Braveheart Ray out of Scotland. Very simple here. Stevie Ray is just there's just not any really notable gyms that I know of in Scotland that are going to be UFC caliber. I just don't see there being a very good gym to train out of in Scotland. Not that they don't have good fighters in their circuits, but it's just a lower level of competition compared to that of like Alliance MMA, Jackson's Wink. And Ross Pearson has trained with some of the best in the business, and he has fought some of the best in the business. So there's going to be a big experience advantage for him here. I think he's kind of acting as a gatekeeper here. Stevie Ray may be able to get through the gatekeeper. It's hard to say. I don't think he's going to knock Pearson out. Pearson's a harder guy to put away, and he's got great footwork and boxing. He's a tough guy. I got to give this one to Ross Pearson. I think he's going to get the job done. I think he's going to win by a rather narrow decision. So I'm going with Ross Pearson to defeat Stevie Ray by decision. And the last fight of the night, Gegard Mousasi versus Uriah Hall, number 2. And last time we saw Uriah Hall get a lucky I think it was a head kick knockout of Gegard. Caught him as he was coming in for a takedown. Rather unfortunate because Gegard was on a roll. And I think that Gegard is going to try to make a statement here. I think he's out for blood, as he's shown in his last 2 fights. He's been finishing guys more often. He just seems like he has a chip on his shoulder, and I really like that in a fighter when I see that, and I see Gegard getting a title shot soon. So I really like Gegard here. I think he's going to come out and he's going to, he's going to try to knock Uriah Hall out. I think he wants to finish him, and he's got 5 rounds to do that, and I think he's going to get it done. I'm going here with Gegard Mousasi to defeat Uriah Hall by TKO KO, and I'm pretty confident in that pick. So that about does it for this card. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not going to give any of my gut picks here tonight, as I don't have time, but I will post my bets for this card and for the other card, UFC Fight Night 100. So stay tuned for those tomorrow, and they'll be on our Capper Tech website. It'll be pinned to the top of the Twitter. Thank you for tuning in.